There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Spotlight. I'm your host, Dr. Don D. Nettles. And as you can tell, I don't have my beautiful counterpart next to me today. She is helping our daughter in Tucson move today and tomorrow. So I'm going to be flying solo, but I'm really excited about tonight. I'm really excited about what I want to share with you because in this book that we're going over, Go Pro with Eric Worre, it literally is only 7 skills to mastering the network marketing professional. And when you look at other career choices, whether people get into a trade or they get into a vocation or they become a doctor or a lawyer or some kind of high-tech executive, it takes a lot of schooling. And this doesn't really take schooling at all as far as you pay your tuition, you go to school, you show up, they take attendance and that. It's really voluntary, which is, I think, part of the inherent problem and why we see professionals that are like doctors, for example. I spent 11 years in college to pursue my doctor degree. And there's people that don't want to spend 11 minutes to become successful in network marketing. That's part of the problem. But I want to kind of give you some of the things to work up to before we get into that, because there are some other slides I want to go over with you guys. But welcome today. We're going over, this is the second session of the Eric Worre book, Go Pro. So let's first talk about what the week at a glance. Tomorrow, pay attention to your email. The emails from corporate come out every Monday. It's going to give you all the things that are happening this week. So Monday, we have Monday Momentum email. So keep an eye out for that. Tuesdays, Momentum Live at 10 p.m. Mountain Time with updates and rewards program. This is the LifeVantage Consultants page. Look at all the details there. On Wednesdays, it's Meet LifeVantage presentation with me and Marcy. We're doing that this week. Remember, it's the first and third Wednesdays of the month at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You see the Zoom ID and the password of GLOW there. And then this coming Saturday, mark your calendars. Hopefully some of you are becoming hosts. It is the virtual event, Activate 2024. Where Brandon Cunningham and Daniel Song are going to be the presenters, and they're going to have a very, very special announcement. It's where the incentive cruise is going. Can't wait to find out that. And that event is going to be this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully you're registered. Hopefully you're going and hosting it. So at the end, this is the details. July 20th, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, the presenters are Brandon Cunningham and Daniel Song. Can't wait to hear that. And they're going to unveil where the incentive cruise is going. So get your teams, host it. We're having a potluck here. So if you're anywhere near the Arizona area, please drop by and share this with us. But again, it's a free event. Register, host it, and have a great experience with your team. And next, so this is also the Rise event. You're invited, the virtual event. It's Saturday the 20th. This is our flyer. We're going to, if you're anywhere near Arizona, please come by. Potluck. We're going to have some great fun. We're going to have some door prizes. We're going to have some fellowship, and we're going to learn some great information and celebrate as a team. Then Market Connect. I'm still getting used to this name in full transparency. This used to be our Elite Academies, then our Momentum Academies. And I don't know if this is a one-off, but the Market Connect in Kansas City Convention Center, the 11th and 12th of October. Mark your calendars. It's still the early bird pricing of $79. It will then go to $99 and probably at the door $149. So don't delay, because the only thing that delaying does is cost you more money, and that's just not smart. So make a commitment, get there, invite your teams there, have a great time, and we'll all see you there at Market Connect. So let's get into the Sunday Spotlight today. And I'm actually liking this Sunday approach. I loved Mondays, but we're not going to be able to do that, as you know, which is why we switched to Sundays. But the first skill we're going to go over in Eric Worre's book is finding prospects, because without a list of prospects, without starting conversations, like you hear Marcy and I say all the time, you're not really in business, because this is not a business of people that are going to feel sorry for you and join your business. It's a business that is built by prospecting, talking to people, finding out about people, finding out what their needs are, what their problems are, what solutions could we do, our products and our compensation plan, our community, our culture, what kind of solutions do those things that we have offer people? So that is So the week at a glance, remember the chapter reviews. Today, we're going to be going over chapter 2, which is decide to go pro. Chapter 3, learn some skills. And chapter 4, where we go over the first skill that we're going to need to learn and master, which is finding prospects. So these are the 7 skills if you're not familiar with it. And if you don't have this book, let me back up one time. If you do not yet have this book, use that QR code in the bottom left corner to get your very own. I think it's on Audible right now. I think it's like $5.99 or something like that. Marcy was telling me it's great to have your own book so you can go through and you can highlight in there. It's very important, but get your book because it's super cool to have it. And it's a great book. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best books out there on network marketing success. And these are the only 7 skills that you need: finding prospects, inviting those prospects to understand your product or your opportunity. That is, once you see a relevant fit for them to solve a problem or meet a need that they have. 3, presenting your product or opportunity to your prospects. And that is something that's typically done by your support team. You can do that with their prospects once you enroll new people. 4, the 4th skill is following up with your prospects. What have you heard? I heard Mr. Mark Shinsato say this for the very first time: the fortune is in the follow-up. Making a conversation, starting a conversation, making an invitation, building a prospects list, those are all wonderful and absolutely necessary. But once you share the information, if you're not following up, you're leaving money on the table and you're just allowing your prospect to be enrolled by somebody else. Because if you share the information, you get them excited, you get them curious, and you don't follow up, somebody's already greased the skids, if you remember that phrase, and they're going to see a little bit of information. Someone else is going to talk to them, and they're going to find that they joined someone else's business. So follow up. Skill number 5, helping your prospects become customers or consultants. That's really where our products and or our compensation and culture, community, and all of that will really bless people and get them to understand what benefits we have at helping your prospects become customers and consultants. In other words, sponsoring people. And then skill number 6, helping your new distributors get started or your new consultants get started. Very, very important to get started as soon as possible, ideally within the first 48 to 72 hours, to make some invites, actually have a launch so you can get some people in your business within the first week. Use those coupon codes that you have for the customers, get your business going. So one, early success is what stops people from quitting, and also early success will counteract those naysayers and those people that like to pour or just rain on your parade, as an example. And then the last skill is promoting events. Probably the most valuable of the skills is number 7, promoting your event. So let's get into chapters 2, 3, and 4 from the book. Let's start with chapter 2, deciding to go pro. So if you remember, when Eric Worre was talking about, in this chapter, he says there's 3 types of network marketers. There's your posers, there are your amateurs, and then there are your professionals. So posers handle the network marketing business opportunity like a lottery ticket. Like they're just going to hit it big with very little effort and just sign somebody up, and they're going to just sit back and become millionaires overnight. The get-rich-quick scheme, if you will. That's why for many years, network marketing has had a bad name. And some people that have carried that bad reputation forward still think that, because there were people at one time that were advertising and marketing and leading people to believe that network marketing was a get-rich-quick scheme. Not a scheme, but you'd get rich. You sign somebody up, they sign somebody up, everybody signs everybody up, and you drive in a Lamborghini, living in a hilltop mansion overnight. Well, it just doesn't happen that way. It's called network marketing, not net wish marketing, because it does require work. And if you read the book, and he was talking about Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, takes 10,000 hours to master something, which is on average 4 hours a day for 7 years. And I'll get into that when we get to number 3 here. So the posers treat it like a lottery ticket. The amateurs, which is where most people are, probably 80 to 90% of network marketers are in this amateur phase, where they're looking for luck or timing. Are they getting to the company at the right time? Luck signing up an influencer or somebody with a huge organization, or a really, really popular person, or a doctor that's part of a big doctor's network. Everybody, including myself, has handled it this way. And it's wonderful if you know those kinds of people. It's always encouraged to share the information, extend an invite to them, invite them to an opportunity presentation, share some information with those influential people, because it would be great. It would be lucky if you got them, but don't hold everything out that that's what's going to happen, because it does take work, and most people like that don't end up panning out. It's the people that you least expect that end up knowing somebody like that who pans out, or the person just decides to go pro and they surprise everybody and go right to the top. The next is timing. Timing is a very, very critical part of network marketing. Are you in the company at the right time? It's one of the risks of startups, because it's startups, the opportunity is tremendous. Ground floor opportunity in every single startup. The reality is 90% of all startups don't make it past their first 5 years. So you're already 90% against you that company will succeed. So choose wisely. It's why looking at timing is critically important. Companies that have been around for longer than 5 years and they're cash flow positive, whether they're in debt or not, is a great sign for people that are looking to kick the tires of network marketing. We obviously don't have to worry about that. We've been in the network marketing industry for over 21 years, and we have great timing. It's still a ground floor opportunity because we haven't gotten anywhere close to the market side penetration in any of our markets, literally less than 5% in our biggest markets, which are here in Japan. And then positioning, where are you? Are you at the top of the organization? It doesn't matter. There is people that have not even joined our company yet that are going to be the next presidentials because of how this industry works. It's one of the things that you're going to see people rank advancing faster and faster and faster because people have great influence. People that just know the influencer game. Influencers know other influencers. I mean, think about it. I forget the name of the gal. So she was somehow related to Bruce Jenner when he was Bruce Jenner. The Kardashians, one of the Kardashians. I never watched the show, but if one of the Kardashians were to join your business and they posted one link on Instagram or whatever TikTok, you'd probably be a presidential within a week. That's the kind of power we're talking about. So always extend it. Always try to go after those kinds of people, especially if you know people who know people who know people. 6 degrees of separation, but don't bank on that. That's an amateur way of thinking, and don't look for shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. The shortcuts are you do the work, you learn the skills. And that's kind of going into the third part here, the professional. And there's a video out there on YouTube. If you just type in Eric Worre 1, 3, 5, 7. So it's Eric Worre 1357. It's Eric Worre's 1357 rule. He doesn't talk about it in his book, at least not in these chapters, but it's literally the best way that you could look at your potential in network marketing on a realistic basis is the 1357 rule. And what is that? 1357 means it takes 1 year after you enroll in a network marketing opportunity as a consultant, and it especially works here in LifeVantage. It takes 1 year to be cash flow positive and get your ROI, or return on investment, and be profitable. So what does profitable mean? Meaning you've recuperated your initial investment and your monthly commissions is absorbing your monthly product usage. Let me say that again, a little slower. So you have recouped your return on investment. Whatever pack you came in on, you have gotten commissions that have absorbed that back, now down to zero. And your monthly commissions are bigger than your monthly product purchases. In other words, it is not costing you money to be a consultant with LifeVantage. You are actually making money as a consultant in LifeVantage. And that's the definition of professional anyway. When you look at amateurs, whatever it is, they have to pay to engage, whether it's golfing or some kind of sport or network marketing. If you are paying money to it every single month, it is still an amateur the way the pay structure, even though you may be handling it like a professional. Just keep doing it, because as more people get enrolled as customers or as consultants, and then they get building their business and they enroll customers and they enroll consultants and your organization grows, so also will your monthly commissions. And when your commissions are larger than your monthly product purchases, you are now cash flow positive, and now you are a professional. That normally takes 1 year to accomplish. Some people get it done quicker, but the average is a year. So if you've done it quicker than a year, consider yourself ahead of the power curve. And that's if you're focusing 4 hours per week on learning skills and practicing those skills. If you're not devoting 4 hours a week to learning new skills and practicing these 7 skills, then it really doesn't matter. That's under the guise of 1 year to be cash flow positive and be a professional in this if you're devoting 4 hours per week to learn new skills and practice those skills. Now, the 3, it takes 3 years, continuing that 4 hours a week to become a full-time person or a full-time candidate. Meaning, if you are already employed, the amount of money you're making in your LifeVantage business has now equaled what you're making in your traditional job. Now you've got the ability to decide to no longer work in your job. Some people get it done quicker. Some people never get it done, and that's okay because perhaps that's not their intent, but it's 1 year to become cash flow positive and a professional, 3 years to replace your income in your current job. 5 in the 1, 3, 5, 7, 5 to make big money, meaning more than $10,000 per month in commissions, which is about what an EC1 makes. So it's 1 year to become cash flow positive and professional, 3 years to replace your income, 5 years to make $100,000 a month or more as an EC1 equivalent, and then 7 years to become world class. This is the part that really interests me and makes me kind of raise my eyebrows sometimes, especially if I'm talking to a professional who wants to get involved in network marketing. So a professional, whether it's an executive in a company, somebody in a trade who's a master at that trade or a business owner, whether they're a C-suite executive, whether they're somebody like a doctor or an attorney, they've usually spent at least 4 years, sometimes 6 or even more, 8 into the doctorate level in college to begin earning in that career. And I'm gonna for impact's sake, I'm going to slow that down and repeat this to see how convenient it is to be a network marketer and not necessarily have to go through that. But so in my example, and I was in college 11 years pursuing my doctorate degree, not because my doctorate degree took 11 years. It's because I changed my major 6 times in the pursuit of that. It was only after I changed to the final of becoming a chiropractor that it took me 5 years, but I already had much of my prerequisites out of the way. So let's just call it 5 years. So 5 years to enter into a career that averages between $100,000 and $130,000 per month. That's or per year rather. I'm using this as a chiropractor. I looked it up right before tonight. So 5 years. So let's just say 6 to 7 years of starting right out of high school, getting prerequisites out of the way, getting the doctorate degree to be 5 years into that career to make about $100,000 to $130,000 per year. Contrast that to network marketing, where it takes 7 years, about the same time, but you don't have to wait those 7 years to begin the career. And then an additional 5 years to make that kind of money, which is 12 years total. You can be earning while you're learning the entire time and go world class. And most people can go bigger than that if they pursue that. There's people making $130,000 per month in this company. Many of them, of the presidentials, are doing that, and most of them did it in less than 7 years. But that's the category, or that's the concept. 1, 3, 5, 7. So professional, and this again is from Malcolm Gladwell's book called Outliers, which is incredibly well researched. The average person to become a master at anything, whether it's a piano and you want to play Carnegie Hall, or it's an MBA and you want to start a company on Wall Street, it's about 7 years or 10,000 hours to become world class. And in network marketing, you can literally choose your own concept or own compensation plan if you stick to it. So that's it. So chapter 3 is learning the skills, learning some skills. What are those skills? Well, they're very, very simple, actually. And let me go back to that. So the skills are right here. So finding prospects, inviting prospects to understand your product or opportunity, presenting your product or opportunity to your prospects, following up with your prospects, helping your prospects become customers or consultants, helping your new consultants get started, and promoting events. So the key about that is learning some skills. And so when we're talking about the skills specifically in our company, the information that we are going to need, there's 3 elements of network marketing when we're talking about the skills that you're going to focus on. in the company, and that is the products. So is there information to learn about our products, what they do, how they do what they do, what are the ingredients if you want to get really, really into it. And then the compensation plan. You should know it. You should know how to explain it to people. But the only variable here, because think about with regard to these skills, is that if you know somebody who's in the company selling the same products to customers or encouraging their consultants to go out and share the same products, if it's the same products that you have available to you, which all of us consultants have at LifeVantage, but some people are making more per month than you, then it's not the products. It's not the products that they have more products than you, or they have additional products than you, or they have different products than you. We all have the same products. So it's not the products that determines how high you can go in our company. It's not the compensation plan, because we all have the same compensation plan. Now, as you rank advance, more levels are opened up to you, more levels of depth are opened up to you, more bonuses are opened up to you. But we all have the same starting point. So every presidential started out as a day one consultant with zero volume. They just worked it, learned the skills, applied it, shared the information. And what you'll find is this: there's two common denominators with the top people in every network marketing company. They have a bigger list than people who aren't successful, and they talk to more people than the people who aren't successful talk to. It's very simple. They have a bigger list and they talk to more people. And ultimately, here's the biggest: they get more no's. Successful people, and the most successful people in the network marketing profession, have gotten far more no's than the people who aren't successful or are at lower ranks, because they're doing more effort. The more you do, the more no's you get. That's kind of what people don't really wrap their minds around, is the more you do, the more no's you get. And you should actually I look at it from a little different perspective. My goal is to get 10 no's a day. If I get 10 no's a day, that's a great day. Whether I get it doesn't matter how many yeses I get. I'm not going for yeses. I'm going for no's, because the no's are the barrier. People that don't like being told no don't usually last in this company or in any company in network marketing. It's very difficult to be rejected and told no all the time. I'm in complete transparency. Nobody likes it unless you know that's just part of the game. And the next no you get is closer to a yes. The next no you get after that, you're even still closer to a yes. So the more no's you get, the closer you're getting to your yes. And there are more no's than yeses statistically. So that's just how it is. But the variable that is the level playing field is you. And are you willing to learn the skills? Are you willing to be rejected? Are you willing to take on a loss of social esteem for a while among people that you know and care about? If the answer is yes, then you can go right to the top of this company as long as you keep pursuing it. And then the last chapter we're going to go over today is the first skill set, finding prospects. And I love in the book how he talked about it. So he talked about making a list, and a comprehensive list. Everyone you know, write them down. Everyone you hate, write them down. Everyone no matter how you know them, people you went to school with, every single job you've ever had, people you knew there, write them down. Facebook and LinkedIn and Google is a great way to find those people. You may know them by name and you haven't talked to them in 20, 30, 40 years or longer. Look them up. You're probably going to find them somewhere. Start at Google, then go to Facebook, then go to LinkedIn, then go to Instagram. Instagram's a little different because they can have their company name, but you can find them on LinkedIn or Facebook most of the time by name, first and last, and start up the conversation again. Friend request them again. Get a connection on LinkedIn again and start those conversations again. So people, every single job you've ever had, every school you've ever gone to, pull out your yearbooks. That's what I did. Pull out your yearbooks and go through all the names. And it's a great way to rekindle friendships with people. In fact, go to classmates.com if you're not familiar with that. There's a free version. You can look up whatever year you graduated, whatever high school you graduated, and look at the list and then go find those people on Facebook. It's a great cross-referencing tool. And then after the comprehensive list, who do they know? Think about that person. And if it's somebody you've known recently, you probably know a lot of the same people that they know. But if it's somebody from your past, think about the size of your database is going to be as big, or if not bigger than their database. And then they know a lot of people you don't know. So your database plus their database just got exponentially bigger. And every single person has their own database and prospect list. So who do they know? And then third, constantly expand. If you heard what Eric was talking about in the chapter with his friend Harvey McKay, who was told by his dad when he was 18, every time you meet somebody, find a creative way to stay in touch. And it's pretty cool. It works really. It's a little uncomfortable when you first start getting started, especially if it's just a chance meeting. And this is the difficult thing for me. If it's somebody where we have at least 2 or 3 different exchanges of wording, I will just, and I'll show you how I do it. Pull out my phone, and then on the cover of my phone, actually, I'm going to unshare. I'm going to stop sharing real quick and show you guys this. Stop that. So on my phone, I have the QR code to my Facebook and the QR code to my LinkedIn as my screensaver. So what I do with that is I'm talking to somebody, I ask them, hey, are you on Facebook? I'd love to keep in touch with you. They'll say, yeah. I say, awesome. Pull out your phone. I pull up my phone. They hover their camera over my Facebook account. Boom. They send me a friend request. We connect right there on the spot. It is super, super effective. And it's not awkward. And again, 2 or 3 different conversations or exchanges back and forth, that's kind of my barrier. If it's somebody like, for example, if I'm in the produce section and I pick up a bag of organic carrots and I was like, hey, what do you think of these? Have you ever bought these before? Yeah, they're pretty good. Hey, are you on Facebook? Hey, pull out, it's a little too premature. I like starting conversations with strangers if they, yes, I've tried those carrots before, they're okay. Or if they just look at me like I'm crazy and they walk away, I'm certainly not going to ask that person to get connected on Facebook. If there's chemistry, if it feels right, and you'll know when. And if you have something like that, it's super easy. I just took a snapshot of this. I went into PowerPoint. I took a screenshot, cut the picture down, and then I imported it as my picture on here. So it's my QR code for Facebook and my QR code for LinkedIn, whichever one they're on. And I probably at least 2 to 3 people a week I'm adding using this thing on my phone right here. Again, when it's conversational, when it's normal. Costco is a great place. We have a grocery store here called Sprouts. That's usually Costco, and Sprouts is where I get most of the people in this because they're similar shoppers. We're looking for the same kinds of things. It's a great way to start a conversation, especially if there's 2 different brands of something simpler and you can't decide. Sometimes I'll just sit and wait for somebody to come up in the aisle, act like I'm doing something else. Again, it's staged. They don't necessarily know that. I'm just trying to make connections because I want to start having conversations because our products are important enough and our business opportunity is important enough to do that. So now I'm going to go back and share my screen again. So constantly expand, 2 a day, and then network on purpose. This is the thing. So think this is a business. Yes, it's a business, but it is also a way to change people's lives dramatically. Dramatically. Think about this. How many people do you know that you just like, oh my gosh, if that person was activated, their health would totally change? Or if that person became a diamond seller and was making $1,200 a month, how their life could change? Just those 2 things, being activated and being a diamond seller making $1,200 a month, just those 2 things could change the world dramatically. And those are the 2 biggest things those are the 2 reasons why I look at this. When I look at prospects, if I see somebody who's struggling, if I see somebody who's about my age or a little younger somewhere, and they're just not doing well, they're not functioning well, they're overweight or whatever. And that's a touchy subject. So I'm glad my subconscious brought that up. It's a delicate subject when someone is overweight, but if you're talking to them, and this is a great conversation piece, what the contents of their cart can tell you a lot about their health choices. And if somebody is overweight, but they've got really healthy things in their cart, I'm almost with about 80% certainty they've had a health scare and they're really committed to improving upon their health. This always happens around January for a lot of people, but by mid-January, February, it starts to taper off. But look for people that are either struggling, people that have oxygen, that are younger than you would think, people that are limping, people that are having signs of some kind of a recent injury. Great conversation starters because activation can change the body. And this is a skill. It's a skill. Starting a conversation with somebody who's struggling in some kind of a health challenge is admittedly not easy. It takes some skill, it takes some patience, it takes some expertise, but do it anyway, because think about that person. If they were your friend and they knew getting activated could change their life, then there's your confidence. So network on purpose. Realize there's people struggling all over the place out there. I'm going to stop sharing and realize, what can we do with our business opportunity? What can we do with our product offering? So go ahead and share your screens, guys, and share with me and unmute your microphones. Share with me what your thoughts on the book is so far. What are you learning from it? Do you have any questions on anything? And what's your overall opinion on everything, how it's going in the first four chapters?
I'm loving it.
Awesome, Cammie.
It's everything I've wanted and more.
It's simple, isn't it?
It is. And after being in network marketing, these are the things that you needed to learn that other people just didn't tell you. So
yeah. And I love the part too about, he talked about firing your upline and going to them and saying, hey, I really appreciate the effort you've given me. Really appreciate it. But from now on, I'm going to focus on doing this myself. Thank you. If I have any questions, I'll probably reach out to you, but thank you so much. I'm doing it on my own from here. It's difficult to do that. And it takes some confidence. It takes some skills. If you follow that book, and this is another thing about LifeVantage, because our compensation plan rewards everyone when we get to a certain level into the elite ranks. We've got the global profit sharing, or the shares of our bonus, is that everybody really, once they get into the elite ranks, no matter whose organization a new consultant or a new customer sale comes in, they're getting a portion of that. So our compensation plan rewards people helping people regardless of organization or downline. And that is very unique to our company. It's not common in the industry. And it's why people are really, in other companies, are not even encouraged to talk to people of other organizations, because they've got like their own proprietary little training skills. Well, I'm glad we don't have that. I'm glad we don't have egos, and I'm glad we don't have cliques here in LifeVantage. I mean, there's probably still some of that, on some teams, but it's very, very, very few and far between, and it's a culture that embraces everybody. So thank you for sharing that, Cammie, especially with previous experience in network marketing. This book, if people are willing to read it and stick to it and learn the 7 skills and put in the time, the 1, 3, 5, 7, and they don't quit and they keep learning, putting in 4 hours a day, it's almost impossible not to be able to succeed, especially with a compensation plan and a product offering like we have. So thank you, Cammie. Appreciate that. Anyone else have any comments or what you guys are thinking of the book? Let's see. All right, don't be shy. Any questions? Any questions on anything you've read, or need some further interpretation, or things that you read and you don't agree with or don't understand necessarily? Bring that up too. It's important to kind of address those kinds of things, especially if people get hung up on something. Okay, well, if no other questions, I'll let you guys get back to your Sunday nights. Thank you guys so much. Please tell Marcy I did okay. You tell her we had some challenges, but tell her I did okay, please. I'd appreciate that. Love you guys so much. Have a great rest. Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you, Dr. Don.
We'll see you Wednesday for the opportunity presentation. Bye-bye, everybody. God bless.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.